Welcome to this week's Whiskey Burn. We're about 5 weeks away from Christmas, so make sure you like, subscribe, and you're always free to add a comment. It helps the channel. And basically, I want to say that we've got lots coming up, so if you subscribe, you won't miss a thing. And the big one this year, the top 3 whiskies of 2025. Some good stuff in there. I still haven't decided, by the way. We've got a new one for you this week. Those who follow the channel regularly will know that I went to a Filey Bay whiskey tasting night. Very nice. And we had 5 different whiskies. We had the one they call the flagship, which is their sort of staple go-to kind of one. And then we had this one. And the reason I got this was because it was slightly different. So we went whiskey, a beer, and then this. The Filey Bay IPA finish, batch number 2, which seems to be the trend these days. So this is Yorkshire, as they say. Filey Bay IPA finish, non-chill filtered, 46% natural colour, batch number 2. And the reason I talk about IPA in the beer is because I quite like this little glass etching they've got going on here, because this is IPA. So they make beer at this distillery, and so what they've done is they basically take the empty beer casks, the IPA stuff, and they fill it with their whiskey. Box isn't too bad actually. I mean, standard box. Alongside our sister brewery, we finished our light and fruity single malt in ex-IPA casks, creating something unusual, distinctive, and absolutely delicious. So there we go. There we go. Tasting notes for you on the back. It says light, fruity and biscuity with notes of green apple, pear drops, lemon cake and hops. So, see what we get. I get that stereotypical whiskey smell. Okay, some flavours are coming through. Remember, it's 46%. I'm getting that green fruit, so the apple really. And now I'm getting a bit of beer, which you'd expect. Only a touch. Oh, biscuit. So that's actually quite what it says on the tin. Biscuit. Filey Bay. Been around since... I should know this. I did know this, because I bought one of their earlier ones. Somewhere around here. I've got too many. They've been going since about 2016 or something like that. They brought out some unique special ones, like basically to make some money to keep them going. So, Filey Bay IPA should be biscuits and fruit. So, very light in colour, very yellowy colour in that. Let's give it a bit of air. For the air, it's very, very light, sort of fruity, but sort of not deep fruit, light fruit, if that actually makes sense. So when I think of deep fruits, I'm thinking like really powerful sort of red berries, blackberries, that kind of stuff. I mean, it does say on the old tin, as it were, it does say green apple, pear drops, lemon cake and hops. So I'd have to agree with that. Not quite getting the biscuit, the IPA, the beery kind of element to it, but I was a slightly bit out of the bottle, but this just needs a good old airing. Let's get this airing. Remember, this will change the whiskey, and if I had time I would sit here and waffle on for 20 minutes to allow this to have that 20-minute sit. That's nice. Now I'm going to tell you something. If you breathe in and keep breathing, if it's a high percent, you will end up breathing in the smell of the whiskey, and then you will end up breathing in pretty much the alcohol smell. You know when you go, and it's like, oh, the alcohol's burning me, I can smell the alcohol. Most whiskies, you'll get to a point where you'll work out where it's gone from smell of the whiskey to the alcohol. And I think that's quite key with anything sort of from probably, some of the 40%ers, but mainly 45 and above. So I'm getting sort of biscuity fruits. I'm definitely not getting lemon on this. So now I've given that a fair bit of air in. Quite thick, quite smooth. Definitely getting a hoppy feel to that on the finish. Quite a short finish as well. It's quite nice, that. It's hard. The smell's really quite subtle, and if you try smelling it too much, like I say, all I'm getting is the alcohol, which is what you don't want. Quite thick for a whiskey. Single malt. Interesting how they put whiskey without an E. I find that interesting because it's normally just the Scotch that has no E. And the rest tends to have E. There you go. Okay, so a little bit of hop, a little bit of biscuit, and the lighter end of fruit, so that's the apple. Let's stick an ice cube in here and see what we get. I've had a couple of people comment saying they like the ice bucket. Takes a lot of ice to fill it, but meh. Which means I can drink a lot more whiskey, doesn't it? Let me know what you are getting up to for this Christmas. Next week, it's all about what you want for Christmas and what your budget is, what you should be looking for. That's next week. All I want for Christmas is whiskey next week. So make sure you tune in for that one for some ideas for Christmas whiskey drinks. Not stocking fillers this year. Decided to leave that one for you. Okay, I can feel the cold coming on this. Wow, changed it. Fruity. Again, subtle. This doesn't have a powerful smell because when I sniffed it right at the start, it was quite alcohol. I can give that a good breath, good sniff. Fruits. Bit of hop, but fruits. That's changed. That really has changed. It's not as heavy, not as thick. No whiskey burn. Really light and fruity with a hint of biscuit, which I'm guessing is all to do with the fact it's been in a beer barrel. That's what I'm guessing with that anyway. Very nice. So there we have it. Filey Bay IPA finish. I preferred this to Staple Flagship. It's around £40-50 a bottle. Might be a bit more, but they have some special ones as well that they bring out, which I liked, but I felt this was a special one because it was in a beer keg before it got bottled. Personally, I think this is really nice with an ice. It's really opened up the fruit and got some really fruity, not so much on the smell, but the taste. This is more about a taste whiskey. Ooh. I'll give that a bit more. I would definitely say Filey Bay IPA, if you want something with lots of citrusy kind of high fruit, a little bit of biscuit and a little bit of hops, Filey Bay IPA is definitely for you, and I would definitely stick an ice cube in it. Just gets rid of that punch and makes it a very sweety kind of high fruit, lovely whiskey. Anyway, there you go. Filey Bay IPA cask finish, batch number 2. I've nearly finished this. Remember, next week I'll be talking about whiskies for Christmas, going from the cheap up to some expensive ones, and what you like, and whether you're getting someone a bottle for Christmas. Maybe you need to think about what you want to get them. There you go. All that next week. But that's for this week. Filey Bay IPA cask finish. Enjoy your whiskey. Slán.